Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So I wanted to share a little bit of a video with you today, just kind of giving a precaution or a precursor warning to anybody who's thinking about, oh my babies, buying or stocking or getting serious into fancy goldfish care. If you have one or two goldfish in your tank, in a a nice sized tank, and you're not overstocked, this is probably not a video for you. But I just want to let you know about some of the hardships I've been going through over the last couple of weeks. So oh my gosh, I made a huge rookie mistake. All right, I have 5 active tanks in my house. 4 40 gallons, a 20 gallon, and then a 10 that I have set up for a hospital tank. All right, so I was doing my normal water changes every single week. I do about a 50% change, and it started in the tank in the living room, but I'll tell you about this tank first, okay? So as you notice, I've got a 90 gallon aqua clear and a little 40 gallon flow. I can't remember. It's just a cheap old top fin, okay? So just basically for water flow, because I like things to kind of roundabout, so it kind of keeps all of the nastiness at the bottom of the tank. You see I've got some algae growth in here, but there's not a lot of deposits or poop flying around anywhere. Hi, sweeties. So I was having problems because I bought cheap Petco sand. I really wanted some substrate, and I found something to go in the bottom. You can see little bits of it's still in here, and I really wanted some awesome black sand for the bottom of my tank. Didn't think about it, I was, I wouldn't say new to goldfish keeping. I'm just under a year now for being a serious goldfish keeper, where I have more than 10 fish and more than a few tanks, and I put sand in the bottom of my tank, and this was a while ago. Then I cleaned my tank out, did my first real gravel vacuuming, and I noticed when I turned my filter back on that the little filter in my 90 gallon was making terrible sounds, like this horrible sound, and I knew there was something wrong. So I was very careful to save the media, to be nice to my media, because I knew I had all of my good bacteria built up, because my tank was cycled and everything was fine. It looked really great. And you guys, I got sand, really fine lava sand, up into the filter. I didn't think about it, and I was spreading sand out a little bit when I would just turn the filter back on, and I tried my best to get the sand out of there without having to remove the media, and it just did not work. So I, thank goodness, had a backup filter for this tank, and not a backup filter, a backup motor for this tank, and was very quick about trying to get everything put back together. Well, in my infinite wisdom, I did not think about it. I was filling the motor, filling the filter, there we go, back up, and lo and behold, I didn't think about it, put my media back into the water I had filled it up with, and without priming. All right, so I put all of my positive bacteria, all the good bacteria I spent so much time cultivating, down into fresh tap water, not treated, and I killed every snick of bacteria I had. All right, I am sitting here shaking my head because I didn't realize what I had done until the next day, and my waters are beautiful, crystal clear, so nice. And the very next day I noticed, when I woke up to feed, there was something off. The water looked terrible. It looked almost green. Poor little Simba here was bobbed up on the top, and I had fed them a really light dinner of peas and a couple of bloodworms apiece, and it was very clear that something serious was going wrong in the tank. So I didn't have a lot of time in the morning, so I added prime to the water, because I'm thinking maybe it's like a bacterial spike or like a bloom of some kind, because I do sometimes I have them right next to my window. Sometimes I open up the window a little bit so they can get fresh sunlight, and I thought maybe, hopefully, that's what it is. Well, when I get home, first thing I do is I test for ammonia, and the ammonia is so high in the tank, I'm really surprised that my fish were not dead. If I had not put prime in, they definitely would have been dead. So I freaked out, did almost an 80% water change, realizing what I had done, and I literally killed my bacteria and my fish tank, which has been cycled for about 7 months. I had a little bit of a previous time cleaning out the filter that I thought I had killed it, but everything seemed clear. But obviously, here we go. So, with that being said, I am now doing 20% water changes every single day. Not only on this tank, but my 40-gallon in the front. I was an idiot. Same thing. I had a really hard time with their tank. I was having a lot of algae growth on I have a 70-gallon Aqua Clear on that side, and on the one side of them, and then a 90-gallon Aqueon on the other. I'm planning to upgrade now to everything, and I'll tell you why, because I didn't think about it. I did I guess about a 50-60% change weekly like I usually do, and there's so much nastiness around the filter. I thought just easy peasy, I'll just change the filter out really quick. And when I changed the filter out, I changed both media pads and caused a cycle crash for them too. I've never had this problem before. I usually follow the rule of don't change your filter pads when you do a water change, wait a couple of days, and I didn't, and I caused a cycle crash too. Within the last 2 weeks, guys, it has been a nightmare. So this fish tank and my other tank are both slightly overstocked, and so obviously water changes are 1 to 2 times a week. Every time I test for ammonia, once a week, I make sure everything always comes out beautiful. But obviously I caused cycle crashes. So that being said, tons of work, guys. Absolutely tons and tons and tons of work. Usually I go through every single day, and I will, you know, when I'm feeding or doing my little kind of care and maintenance, checking out my fish, I will go and scrub all of the grossness off, at least the front and bottom of the walls of the tank. But right now I am leaving everything. I want all of that good bacteria to start building up again. Water changing I like it. It's fun when I do it on my regular days. But now I'm having to come home from work literally every single day, dragging all of my equipment out and doing a water change every single day on 2 of my 40-gallon tanks. I feel so bad for my fish. I don't have another place to put them because my tanks are full. So it's not like I can even pull these babies out and put them somewhere else while I recycle this tank. And I feel so bad for them. Cycle crashes are very hard on the fish. I've had one before, but I didn't have fish in the tank. I was doing a fishless cycle, and I really don't know what I did. I probably forgot to prime when I did a little water change, and oh my god, you guys, I was so mad. And I am still, I'm so upset. Now that I'm doing the 20% change every single day, I actually did a little bit more for these guys yesterday, and I'm getting geared up for another one. It's really hard on the fish. Poor little Simba, he never bottom sits. He's always floating towards the top, and he was bottom sitting last night, and I actually had a really good cry. I felt really bad about it was my fault, and now my poor little fish are going through a time because I was stupid and I didn't take close enough precautions. This is the precautionary tale I will tell to anyone who is serious and really wants to hardcore fish keeping. Be careful, guys. Be careful about your water changes. Be careful about switching out your media. And as soon as you have the money and the ability, get rid of these stupid hang-on back filters, okay? I am going to take you out into the living room really quick, and I'm going to show you my newest tank and how beautiful it is. You'll notice that my last video that I posted was about the canister filter, and this is why. This is why. My water is so crystal clear. I am so impressed. Within just, oh hi babies, within just under a week, I have had this going. Look at how beautiful my water is. This thing, this canister filter kicks ass, okay? It is amazing. There's little to no buildup. Hi guys. There's little to no buildup, and in less than 2 weeks, I think it's about 10-12 days, my water is almost completely cycled. Every single week, like I said before, I test for ammonia buildup and nitrates and nitrites, and this tank is almost completely balanced out in just over, I think it's like 10-11 days I've had this thing going now. So severely impressed. Now I do still have this Fluval, whatever you want to call it. I bought it as an Aqueon, and it said an Aqua Clear, and it said Fluval on the top. I still have this for circulation and because it holds all my good bacteria. But as soon as I'm done, as soon as the tank is like officially cycled, and probably another month and a half, I will be removing that altogether. Also, what I really like is now I have this beautiful sides of my tank, and I don't have a stuff hanging off my tanks like I do here. This is the guys that I caused the other cycle crash on. I'm so disappointed in myself. I can't even tell you. I'm so mad. And again, I'm letting their algae grow. They're right by the window too, so I know they get a lot of algae. And I'm so mad. I'm so upset at myself. So guys, if you're going to be serious about keeping fish, please go on, do your research, follow the rules, and don't cause stress with your fish by being stupid and causing cycle crashes, because I think to be perfectly honest, had a glass of wine and I was just trying to keep up with maintenance, and I didn't realize what I was doing until it was far too late. But oh boy. So keep in mind, it's a lot of work, guys. It's a lot of work. And I love them, and this is what I signed up for. I knew what I wanted. I was researched. I had done my research and had realized what I was getting myself into beforehand. So I knew if I caused any crashes or any issues with the cycling, that it would come back to haunt me. And I'm sure I'm getting it right now. But to make sure they're happy and healthy, water changes. I cannot stress enough how important water changes are. Yes, hi Bonnie, Panda, little babies. I love these guys, and I want to make sure they're happy and healthy. So please heed my advice. If you're serious about fish keeping, please make sure you're checking your water parameters. Don't just throw them in a little, in a little tank and, don't take care of them. Each fish is so individual. They have such great personalities. I am obsessed with every single one of my babies, and I just want everybody to have as good of an experience as I've had so far. And just to really watch your fish and make sure you do right by them, because right now I feel like a really shitty fish mommy. And I know their tank looks clear and nice, but it is definitely not cycled. So here I go, gonna do some water changes. But heed my warning, guys. If you love your fish, don't do this to them. I was an absolute idiot, and I can't believe I did this, but alright, make sure to leave your comments down below if you have any, and we'll see you next time. Say bye, Gunther.